Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to this official intellectual webinar, which is going to be a very path-breaking one for the students as well as the participants here. It is a great privilege to welcome you all to this intellectual platform. I welcome Ms. Shaukia here to the welcome address. Shaukia?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, please start.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Warm greetings, one and all. I, Shaukia, is vested with the responsibility of delivering today's welcome address, and it gives me immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all of your presence. Let me start off by thanking each of you for pulling in for this webinar. Today's master's class is on how one can stay unique in the profession of law. We all know law is a very dynamic subject, which is why there are many options in front of us, and often we are in dilemma to choose what. Law is a degree that not only enables a person for judiciary, but also opens multiple other doors for an individual. Because the skills obtained during the course of law program are transferable to many different roles in other fields. As the maiden batch of our law school is all set to fly out as professionals against this backdrop, it's great honor and pleasure to introduce you all with Ms. Atifa Jahan, who's with us here to enlighten us with the above mentioned topic. Ms. Atifa is a lawyer who finished her bachelor's from Guwahati University, and since then she has been into the corporate sector efficiently. Law officer of Citibank, manager of Kotak Mahindra, legal manager of SBI Card, to name a few. Currently, she is the vice president of Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance. We are nothing but privileged to have you as our resource person for the day. On behalf of our law school, I welcome you, ma'am. I feel honored to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Mr. Peer Mohammed, and our Registrar, Mr. Azad, who has always been supportive for all of our endeavors. We welcome you both, sir. Next, I take this opportunity to welcome the man who gives direction to every student, developing us as a confident person with definite goals in life, and who has been the reason for this seminar. Our very own respected Dean, Dr. Arab Mohammed Shamiullah. We welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome our respected deans of other departments. I welcome Dr. Nazneen, our professor, who was the convener for the day. I feel privileged to welcome all of our respected faculties who has been by us through everything. Lastly, I welcome my fellow mates for whom this webinar is organized. I ensure that this session will enhance yourself a better future and will be profitable for you in every aspect. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaukia. Now I welcome our beloved and respected, ever-supporting Dean, Dr. Samiullah Arab, to give his intellectual wisdom and some words shared. So we have some words.
Of course, yes. It's going to be a great session. I know that Miss Atifa, Madam, has grown from a ordinary law graduate like all of us, and she joined corporate, being, first started law officer, then became manager, then again the ultimately vice president of the company, such a huge MNC company, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company. And it's a great privilege, to have such a prestigious person with us today. And on behalf of our management and all our colleagues, all our students, I thank Ms. Atifa for accepting our invitation to be the speaker for this special webinar on the title, orienting the students on the best career aspects with the law program. So we welcome you, ma'am, and so I request now Ms. Atifa to take over the session. Floor is yours, all is yours. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, my dear students. And I cannot tell you in words how much I am excited to interact with all of you. While interacting with law students is one of my biggest dream, I would say. It's an immense pleasure I cannot express in words, because in you I see my past, and I was one of you, and I'm sure you are all privileged to have doing your law from such a prestigious institution. And back in our times it was not that great, I would say, but so I'm so excited to talk to you people, to know what has changed over this period of years, how you think, how, what are the questions in your mind. I'm really excited to know all of this. So I am here to actually learn from you people. I am here to actually learn what is your thinking process, what you want to become, what are the questions in your mind. And I'll be really grateful if I can answer even at least one of your questions and make some impact in your life. And that is what I'm looking forward. And I request you all to be very interactive. You can stop me at any point of time to raise a question, and I'll be really happy to take your question. So with your permission, Dean Sir, Nazneen Ma'am, and all the all of you, I would like to now start. So hope I am visible to you. Hope you can hear me well. I'll just pause so that someone gives me a heads up, and then I proceed.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. So the topic which I have selected for you is the career in law. So how many of you were a bit confused when you joined this course? I'm sure there are people, right? I was one of them. When I joined, I took my LLB. I was confused. My career path was not clear in front of me. I was not sure whether I will pursue it as a career, or am I actually doing it because I have to do something after in graduation. Because at our time it was 3-year law after graduation. So 5-year was very few law universities were giving 5-year course. So there are confusions. So at this point of time, if you get a clear visibility, what are the options available in law, then it becomes much more easy. Because the target is something which should always be clear. As a student, your target should always be clear. You should visualize yourself 3 years at least down the line, or 5 years down the line. So that if you always keep your visibility clear, I'm sure you will become a very great person in your life. So whether we achieve our target or not is not the question. We don't have to achieve all of the thing which we dream, but don't stop dreaming is my request to all of you, my lovely students. So if my screen is visible, you can see there is a comment, there is a quotation from Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright is an American comedian. He is not a lawyer; it's a comedian, and in his Comic Sense, he has said, "I busted a mirror and I got." 7 years of bad luck, but my lawyers think he can get me 5, which means that lawyers are always a hope. That's what the charm of a lawyer. A person gets hope from you. A person, if he is ready for a life imprisonment, he is coming to you with a hope that it will be reduced to an extent. If it is a death sentence, they come to a lawyer with a request and a hope to get it converted to a life imprisonment. So there is always a hope when you have a lawyer with you. That is the job of a lawyer. So you can imagine what is the role we play in our society, and we can play a very constructive role. And and we can do a lot. We can achieve our dream, while and the dream which is very satisfying to all of us. I have made some notes, so I will please excuse me if I just refer to my note. So there is always a way you when you have a lawyer beside you is what this quotation talks about. So with this note, I will take you to the next page. So what we are discussing today. So all of you know what are the different prospects because you are a law student, you have taken admission, you must be having something in your mind. So very common perception is that you see yourself in black coat and a long black gown and a white shirt and very smartly going into the court premise and entering a court premise. That's a very common perception which we have, and maybe your family member, your relatives, or the elderly people in your family must be thinking that okay, he has gone to study law and this is what he will come out. But no, the scope and the opportunities in this field is immense. It is an evolving field, and it is a great, amazing, and exciting journey. And this is the what we are talking today. And you can choose anyone from this. You can be a litigation lawyer, as mentioned in the agenda. You can see this screen. You can be a corporate counsel. You can be a judicial service personnel, means you can be a magistrate, a judge, and you can be a civil servant like any other civil servant. And in the executive field, you can be a judicial clerk. You can be a media and publication lawyer. You can work in an LPO. You can be an academic. So you can be one of your professor. You can be a social worker, and you can work in a law firm. And also one of the exciting field, which I am sure many of you are dreaming, is JAG. So it is a judge advocate general, which is a very exciting field. So take a look and just imagine how much scope you have after you complete your law degree. So this is what I could collate, and this is what we will discuss about the pros and cons, so that each one of you can have a career path defined in front of you. Each one of you can, actually think what is your forte, what is your caliber, what is your dream, and accordingly you can just pick one of them. So I'm sure all of you are waiting to see what is next. So without delay, I will go by one, but I would request you to please stop me wherever you have a curiosity of questions. So I would like to be more interactive than to park the questions at the end. We don't want a session like that. You can always raise your hand and ask questions. I'll be really happy. So litigation, this picture is very common, right? A judge sitting there and two other judges, three judges, benches sitting, and then there are advocates, there are clients sitting in the court, typical courtroom, right? We have seen in many of the movies about this courtroom drama. So and the question also maybe in your mind is that, or actually, is it so colorful? Is it so glamorous? Or the way we see in the movies, Hindi movie has make it taken it to a different level. So where judge says order, does it actually happen? So all those things you will learn when you become a litigation lawyer. That is not important, so I will not take your time in that. So what happens to a litigation lawyer? What if you are a litigation lawyer? How will be your life? There will be no life. First of all, you will be 24/7. You will be a lawyer, and there is no night, there is no day. You can be allowed to sleep at least, maybe 3 to 4 hours. But I'm not scaring you. Trust me, that is very satisfying. Those who are a successful litigation lawyer. So litigators or a legal practitioner provides dispute resolution, of course, and representing them in the court of law, multitude of matter ranging from criminal, civil, commercial, and many other different types of cases are there which lawyer represents their client. So how is the day like? If you become a litigation lawyer, what would be your work? Like, for example, morning you get up, you take a bath, get ready for the college, come to the college, attend lectures, go to the canteen, and have fun with your friends, go back in the night, study, sleep. But once you are a litigation lawyer, how your day will look like, what will be your tasks, is what this page tells you. So what happens? So when you are a litigation lawyer, you have to study your client's brief, whatever your client has come to, whatever your clients want a relief, or you want to defend your client, or you want to file a case on behalf of your client. That you will have to understand the case. You will have to see what all evidence your client is bringing for the case. You will have to draft the pleading. You will have to also think a lot of provisions under which you can give relief to your client. So you will have a discovery process. You will go file the case into the court, and then there will be a lot of pre-trial tasks. So it doesn't go to the judge directly. It is get scrutinized. If there is any defect, there are a lot of procedural things which you will also learn when you actually go to a court. And those procedural defects, once you cure them, then it goes to a judge, and the first date of hearing comes when you practically go, and the trial starts. So this, of course, you will learn in civil procedure code and criminal procedure code. So yeah, and then you take your moot codes very seriously. That also helps. And you have certain fear in your pleading. And if somehow that is not happening, you can also suggest your client to have a possibility of settlement. So if not everything, if the client and the opposite party agrees, you can also mediate to get a settlement. And settlement can be done through lok adalat, pre-lok adalat, and then there is a mediation cell in the court that cases gets converted there, and then you will have to comply with the order, or you can file an appeal. So this is a typical life cycle of a litigation lawyer. So you can imagine the number of drafting a lawyer need to go through, pages after pages. So the drafting is one of the things. Then you have to be updated with the provisions. You have to be always updated with new judgments, so that you can give the best relief to your client. So this is the typical life of a litigation lawyer. Sounds complicated, but really complicated when you actually start working. It is very, very organized way. So if you are an individual lawyer, your office is so organized. You will learn it when you do your internship under a senior advocate. You will learn how things move, how you can, in one day you can file 5 cases, or you can, argue 2 cases. How it happens, it doesn't sound practical, but advocates are one of those most disciplined people. The way they maintain their file, the way they, there is an art of making your brief. It is, we see one file a lawyer carries, but there are a lot of taggings, there are a lot of notes they prepare, and it's very, very systematic. It's very, very interesting. So I would request all of you to, at least during your entire law course, please attend internship under various different and field of we are discussing today. Like, for example, if you get a chance to work under an individual advocate, please do that. If you get a chance to work for a law firm, please do that. If you can get a chance to assist one of the advocate on record or senior advocate, please do that. And please observe how they are disciplined. How do they make pleadings? There are they always keep a format ready, so that the clerks, it becomes very easy for them to convert that format into different kind of allegations or different pleadings. They change it so swiftly. How they maintain file, there is a particular order they maintain file, and then the whole night or the whole evening they will be working on a brief, and then morning they goes and argues in front of a judge. and how they argue on the very law point, or but this is a big art. So I would request you to all of you to take your internships very seriously, and that's the biggest achievement actually, when you go out of the law college and you make a CV and then you write that you have so many internships. That really gives a different level of confidence, that different level of exposure as well. So what I have written here is that at the onset of their career, litigators have to learn the ropes by working under a senior lawyer. Thus, the salary is not very lucrative during the learning stages and can be expected to range from 15,000 to 20,000 per month. However, it rises exponentially with the level of experience and increase in the client. So to would be very glamorous. The very next day you would get your convocation. It is not like that. There is no limit. So of course this is a practical thing, and how much we earn if we are a lawyer. This is a practical question, and there is no harm in asking that. That's why I have incorporated this as well, so that you can have something in your mind. Because when you are going and learning, so law learning does not stop at 5 years. It goes to 5, 7, or 8, 9 years, depending on the right step you take. That is why our endeavor is to tell you what is the right path and how your struggle can be lessened. So you cannot expect a lucrative salary, of course, the very next day you are pass out, but your learning is something which will earn you immensely in the future. So any question on this page, I would be really happy to take. Or I would like to actually see the faces if someone is actually taking litigation and as one of your litigation as a seriously, and you want to be a litigating lawyer. Can I see some hand raise if possible, or if anyone wants to share your thought? Okay, so we will not waste time, and then we go to the next field. I'm sure you are excited to know about what is next career. So next career opportunity can be a corporate counsel. So there are a lot of companies in India, right? There is no dearth of organizations. There are MNCs. There are a lot of private limited companies. There are a lot of public limited companies. There are LLPs. There is n number of organizations. There are n number of sectors: banking and finance sector, insurance sector. There are FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. So all these Nestle's of the world, they are FMCG companies. So there is a lot of different sectors, and trust me, everywhere they need a lawyer. So there is nothing which moves in a corporate without a legal sanction. So the moment lawyer fulfills any deal, that only it moves. So it's a corporate counsel is a totally different area of career. So here you do not get to practice yourself. Here you do not get to appear in front of court yourself, but you are an in-house counsel. So if, for example, there is a company, ABC Private Limited, and ABC Private Limited is a banking organization, for example. And so they have what a bank does. A bank will be lending money, taking deposits. They are if they are lending money, then there are a lot of agreement they have to do. Whatever this is the product they are lending, like for example, home loan they are giving. For example, we take it as it's a product, right? So what will be the agreement with the customer for that giving the particular home loan? So a lawyer will have to draft this entire agreement, and of course we do not draft it every day. There is at the time of launching there are a lot of regulations come according to which this agreements have to be updated day by day, and then also you have to, as a corporate counsel, the biggest task in front of you would be to safeguard the company's interest. So the risk assessment is something for which we are hired as an in-house counsel. So a company wants that I have my employee who are lawyers and who will be assessing the risks involved in doing this deal, so that if I get a blessing of my lawyer saying that everything is correct, all the clauses are in place, and even if we are going, this is the risks and how do we mitigate this risks, all of these things, and then the deal goes away. If you see this graph is quite long. So you will start from an executive level or an associate level or whatever is the company's nomenclature starting entry level position, and at par with your sales colleague or any other department colleague, you grow this ladder. Typically, the levels are like assistant manager, manager, senior manager, deputy manager, or all of these things, and you can go to any level. The highest level based on the organization size, it can be vice president, it can be executive vice president, senior vice president, or whatnot. There are designations of MD level also in law firms. So this is the path in a corporate, but it's a completely separate sector. And so once you are in corporate, of course, you can anyways come back whenever you want to open your law firm. You can quit your job and start practicing. That's of course there. But if you want to pursue a complete career in corporate and your forte you think is managerial skill, then you can always work here. Because what is required to be a corporate counsel? The requirement are not only the legal knowledge. Of course, legal knowledge is required, but apart from the legal knowledge, your ability to handle multiple cases. How do you handle multiple cases? So you have to have a skill of a manager, that you are not only a lawyer, that someone has kept a brief on your table and you are working. No, you have to be vigilant. If you are taking care of the litigation of that company, then how many cases are pending in that company? Then what are the risks of those litigations? What are the highest value litigation which you need to take care to safeguard your organization? So a lot of managerial skill is required. And as a corporate counsel, as a corporate lawyer in a company, you will always be interacting with the other department. So just to give you an example, so, for example, you are working for a company like Nestle, right? So Nestle is they're introducing a new baby product, so baby food product, and the marketing has come to you to say that this is the advertisement we are doing, and what should be the disclaimer, what should be the terms and conditions, then you fulfill. So these are also the tasks of a corporate lawyer. Like, for example, every day you must be coming across, that this card has this offer in this. If you go to Big Bajaj, swipe this credit card, you get this offer. Always there is an asterisk, and then under what terms and condition this offer is applicable. So these are also the part of a corporate counsel, to see where the risks are and how do you tighten those risks. So even within a corporate, there are a lot of verticals. There are lawyers who will be taking care of the litigations this company is having. There are the lawyers who will be constantly working on the various agreement a company is every day entering. So in our company, like even if I take the example of Bajaj Allianz life insurance company for which I work, every day we are entering into at least 2 agreement. Every day, at least 2 agreement we are entering into, some with someone or the other. So this is a big team who sits and does those agreements. Do they create those agreements every day from ABCD? No, they do not. There are templates, but you have to be, you cannot be careless. You have to be very mindful to see that there is no room for any kind of risks you are leaving for the company. So then what would be the expected salary? It depends. It depends on the size of the company. And if it is not a very big size, at least it starts from 3, and sometime it goes to 6 from the starting CTC, I can tell you. So I will just pause for a moment to see if you have any question, or just you can let me know if you are some. Just raise your hand, and if you have further question or a specific question, please take my email ID, connect me with email. I'll be really happy to guide you guys. I will be very happy. So if I do not see any raised hand, then I will move to my next slide. So judiciary is one of the dream, right? Many of you must be having this dream of becoming a judge. Extremely good decision, I would say. Extremely good decision. We need judges. We need lot of judges. Your aspiration, if you are aspiring to be a judge, I would like to say you thank you, because there are so many pending litigation. A person who is going through litigation only can and feel the pain of visiting, court every day. No one likes to visit court. No one likes to go to hospitals, right? These are not the best place to go. We need judges. We need judges who are very dedicated. We need judges who love the people, right? So how do we become a judge? Is this if this is the question in your mind? So this is the slide you can go through, and I will definitely share with you. And I'm sure most of you have already have some idea about the judicial exam, right? So this is one of the career paths. So my request to all of you is that if you are actually thinking of pursuing this career, please take it seriously. After your graduation, and you do all the you follow all the courses or books available for judicial services. Go to your own state, and because sometimes it is advantageous because of the local language exam also. There are different notifications for different states. So please keep a eye on to your state's judicial exam, and then pursue it with all your dedication. So it is recommended to sit for these exams after obtaining 1 to 2 years of work experience. Why? Just imagine if you are a judge and you have to pass an order, then it is always better if you are a lawyer already. You feel you know it better, so there is no lawyer who can misguide you with the process or anything. So it is always helpful. And also when you practice for 1 or 2 years, it is very helpful for you to write the exam. Of course, once you are selected, there is a huge lot of training goes through judicial academic. You must have seen in a lot of states are there, and then the training happens. And you get posted. What is the advantage of becoming a judge? I can't tell you. There are a lot, of course. So we as a human being, we also need a lot of security, right, in our life. If I want a very secured life and judicial, and I have a dedication for the nation, and this is one of the best field you can actually look for. It has a lot of attractive salaries these days. It is giving you a lot of perks in terms of giving you accommodation, taking care of your or everything, because it is obviously a judge who is so have to pass 5 judgments the next morning, cannot expect to come and do all the household work and then get ready for passing judgment in the next morning. So this is a good thing that this field has got a lot of attention, and people are actually getting more and more interested in this field. If you are one of those who want to explore this possibility, I would say this is one of the best career opportunity. It never ends. It is not only, it doesn't end with your retirement. Post retirement, it has an amazing life, because no judge sits ideal after retirement. There are a lot of scopes. Becoming arbitrator, they gets appointed as an arbitrator, they gets appointed an advisory in various places. So there is no dearth of work a judge will have. So once a judge, you will always be serving the nation. You will always be working. You will be always be a happy person. You will be always occupied with work. So this is one of the career option. So similarly, I will just pause for a moment to see if you have any question for me on this.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Actually, we have a question and answer in the end. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Right, right. So sometime what happens if you park questions, then you don't get. Sometimes you get forget. So that's why I'm just pausing for a moment and then going to the next slide. So we can do that also, ma'am. No problem. So what is the next career opportunity? It is civil service. Of course, civil service you can choose at any moment of time. So don't think that after you should have done your, graduation in the general graduation and then only you can go for civil service. Civil services are open for any time. So after your LLB, after your LLM, if you choose to do civil service, you can all go for UPSC exams and choose law as a subject. What is the difference between a judicial service and a civil servant who have between a legal civil servant? So this civil servant is an executive service, and that is a judicial service. There is a difference between and both of them. This is also one of these career opportunity, and I'm sure it is very, very general. So I would not spend much time with this, just to give you some more interesting insight with the other areas of law. You must be thinking that why I'm not talking about law firm. Law firm, I will come. So law firm is also one of the best career opportunity. Just hold on for some time. We will come to law firm. So judicial clerkship. What is a judicial clerkship? So there are opportunities. So judges, like the Chief Justice of any High Court or Supreme Court of India, they have a huge office of lawyers who work for them, who maintains their brief, who who prepares notes, and who keep the library. So this also is a huge learning experience. It's if you get an opportunity to work as a judicial clerk, I would recommend you to please explore this opportunity if you are actually interested to become a judge, or you are interested to become a litigation lawyer, because what it is said, is that a judicial clerk can learn in 2 years what a practicing lawyer can learn in 5 years. So there is immense learning in a judicial clerkship. In the comfort of an office, you can learn a lot. So maintaining, what are the role? The maintaining judge's library by updating appropriate document, attend court sessions to record necessary case information, draft or profit judicial opinion, decision or citations, participate in conferences between judges and attorney, prepare brief statement of issue involved in cases, research law, court decision, document, opinion, brief. So everything is covered. You get to accompany the judge to listen to the court proceedings, so that you can take necessary note in there. Then you get a chance to attend the conferences, you get to attend you get to do the research for a particular case and make everything prepare for the honorable judge, so that he can pass the judgment with everything which is put in the table. So this is an immense source of knowledge, because you get to learn a lot within years, and this is one of the best career opportunity. I'm not saying that make it like you can go to any extent, and in terms of as a practicing lawyer or a judge. So here it is said that a Supreme Court judicial clerkship can be paid between 40 to 50K per month, but this is not the amount we are looking at, because it is all about learning. So it's a stipend which you get while learning, but just for information's sake, I have kept it in case you are interested to know. So moving to the legal journalism, this might be sounding very, very exciting to you. Are you really excited to know about legal journalism? As ma'am said, we will take questions. I would love to have questions in this particular topic. If I am not able to answer you today, I will definitely get back to you with a lot of information. This is an emerging field. This is a field which was not known 10 or 20 years back. right? So what is legal journalism? So specialized reporting in the field of all things related to concept of law. So if you open a newspaper, if you are going through, if you hear something about a big case going on where entire nation or entire state is looking forward to know what is happening in the court, what is the progress of that case, this is what this legal journalists bring to you. So, legal journalist is the one. So nowadays, the very popular word which you must be hearing is media trial, right? So who does the media trial? So media trial is taken in a very negative sense, but there is in the sense that they kind of do a parallel judgment. But if we take it in positive sense, these legal journalists are responsible to bring you actual scenario. They do a lot of research also parallelly to tell you particular case which newspapers are publishing. So law graduates can work towards the dissemination of information to the public on important legal matters by writing books, reporting news, by converting courtroom, etc. People with the penchant for writing current affairs and politics will find it to be very, very satisfying. So if some of you are from literature background, you are very, very fond of English literature or your state literature, and you feel that after doing law you are losing touch with that. This is not the case. Law needs a very good grip over literature, over your command over the language, and you can even more capitalize this by becoming a legal journalist. It's not necessary that you just write in a newspaper. There are a lot of books which are written and by these lawyers, and they get a lot of attention. So recently I was also reading a book on written by one of a prominent lawyer, so I can share more information on that, but just looking into the time constraints, so I will just move to the next slide. Legal process outsource, just for the information sake, I'm keeping this as also one of the fields. So what is legal process outsource? You must have already heard about LPO. What does LPO do? This is, as the word itself means, outsourcing. So who does outsource this? Like, for example, India is always known for getting IT work from all over the world, right? That's how our big IT companies are growing, because we give legal IT support and we take a lot of work from US or in European countries, do it here. You must have seen, if your friend or colleague or your brothers, not colleague, but your friend or your relatives, some of you are in an IT company, you must have heard about shift. They work in American shift, they work in Australian shift or in European shift. Why? Because they are actually providing work sitting in India. They are working for a foreign company at their timing, at their convenience. But since manpower is cheap in India, so they prefer and not move to their site location and provide the work. It is exactly LPO is exactly the same. So how we can in India do other countries' work is a question, right? So we can do. There are drafting works which can be outsourced. So a lot of work which is repetitive in nature, where template based, they outsource those legal works to India as well. And this is one of the field. The only thing we have to keep in mind here is that sometimes this experience might not count when you go out and work in the Indian and legal environment, because the practical knowledge which you gather is of some foreign country which may not be applicable in India. So that is one of the I think demerits of this process. But there is also people who are interested to work for legal process outsourcing, to have a comfort of the environment. They can, if you are interested in drafting, and this is also a career opportunity in law. What is the most lucrative thing is that the salaries usually paid is much more higher than the other counterparts. So if you are freshers, and the freshers in other Indian environment as a litigant lawyer or a corporate lawyer will earn much less than a LPO employee. That is one of the reason where sometimes people have to choose this also as a growth, but the only demerits might be the experience may not count. Nevertheless, we can always keep ourselves updated with various possibilities. So I don't think I have to talk about this because it's a teaching experience in legal. And there are, I find a lot of my, I have hired people sometime from law campus in my previous organization, my current organization, and they sometimes come and realize that no, I really, my forte is in academics, so I want to go back. They go back, they do LLM, and they try to do a NEET, a NET exam, and then they finally become a lecturer in law. Amazing field, I would say, one of the most respected profession. When you are a teacher, you get to learn, you grow each and every day, and you are not, you do not choose to be a student in a single day of your life. You are always a student, and as a judge, this is never ending. You can be a writer, you can do so much, you can contribute so much to the society. This is one of the most respectable profession, and I would say as an academic. So what you need to do if you are actually want to become a professor? So you have to choose the career which you want to pursue. So not career exactly, what is your area of interest in law is something you have to decide. So there can be a specialized sector. After LLB, you can go for a specialized course of international law. For example, you can master in arbitration law, you can master in commercial law, you can master in banking law, you can master in corporate law, and that is something is my I would advise you to pursue. And if you are, then you go ahead and clear all the necessary exams of you, and then you can proceed. Otherwise, you can always, after doing a specialization, you can and again come back and choose one of the career which is available as a litigant lawyer, as a corporate lawyer. You can join a law firm with that area of specialization. So if you are not 100% sure that whether you want to be a teacher in your life, then you can, but you still want to do LLM, go for it. It is a very good decision, I would say. Social work, a lot of NGOs, they need lawyer. Why they need lawyer? Because everything is based on law, right? For example, you are an NGO, and then you are feed poor people, for example, and then we are taking this particular NGO is accepting fund from others and then doing this work. So this transaction always need to be legally fulfilled, whether it is legally feasible or not, what should be taken care, what is the money laundering aspect which might have. So you always need a lawyer to see all of these things. So NGO needs a lawyer because NGO particularly, they raise fund from others. And if you're there raising fund from others, then what kind of an agreement will be in place, whether it is allowed or not allowed, or what kind of risks might be there. So all these things has to be taken care by the in-house lawyers. So there are a lot of commissions. So National Commission for Women, National Commission for Protection of Children's Rights, National Human Commission. So being an NGO, you can always get associated and do contribute meaningfully to this organization. So if you are an NGO who want to actually work for human rights, then your knowledge in human rights has to be that solid that you can defend any situation which is an onslaught. So it's not an NGO life is not easy if you are, and any kind of a social work is not easy, right? When you give up all your or your material pleasure and go with the path of serving the society, there can be a lot of challenges. But One of the thing which you can ensure is becoming to know that particular area of law very, very clearly. If you know that area of law, no one can challenge you. If you are a human right specialist, you know human right law so well, then you can actually defend for those people who for on behalf of whom you are standing, and you can really contribute meaningfully through the help of these commissions which are already in place. So, Judge Advocate General, this is a very, very interesting field. And you can see the logo. I'm sure all of you are already aware what is this and what are the qualification. The major who is a legal and a judicial chief of army holds the post of JAG in the Indian Army. A JAG officer is the presiding officer of the court martial in interpreting and applying military law. So specialized, very niche area where you specialize on the military law. If at least one of you decide to pursue this career after hearing from me, I'll be so, so grateful, I cannot tell you. So the requirement for this post is that you have to be an Indian national. The minimum qualifying percentage is 55, age between 21 to 27, eligible for registration in the Bar Council of India or the State Bar Council, and then you have to do the particular application which comes out from published by Indian Army. So if you are interested to know more about it, do a research in Google, and if I get more information, I will definitely share with you. Last but not the least, the most exciting field is the law firm. Why it is the most exciting field? Because I think each one of you at least do an internship with a law firm in your 5-year course. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. The picture on your right-hand side, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar, but I'm sure that it is more than 90%. If you are this today's generation and have already seen this picture, right? This is a very popular, I think, Netflix series called Suit. So when you see suit, the question in your mind would be like, is it actually that what is being shown? Can we achieve one day that position? May not be 100%, but at least 90%, I could say. So what is the law firm? What is a law firm, and how the divisions of law firm? If you have to choose a career in law firm, which law firm should you choose? Is the question, right? You must have in your day-to-day interaction, you must have heard about tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 law firm. Who does this classification? So in India, there are Legal 500, RSG India, and chambers and partners. They are qualified to do this tier-wise classification. So tier 1 law firm, tier 2 are the middle one, and tier 3 are the third level law. On the what basis these law firms are categorized with tier 1 and tier 2. First categorization is the number or the volume of deals signed by these firms, and the number and the volume, and they sign with their client. Then expertise in various different legal practices. So if it has to be a tier 1 law firm, they cannot just say that I am only a civil law practitioner. They cannot become a tier 1 law firm. They have to be civil, there has to be criminal, there has to be consumer, there has to be competition law, there has to be aviation law. In the number, the bigger the number, then their chance of getting the tier 1 certificate becomes bigger. What is the annual return of the law firm is also accounted for. And is this a law firm driven by the leaders? So if there are big names, big leaders, big senior counsels who are part of this law firm, then this is what the categorization happens. So I would also tell you how is the categorization in a law firm. Like for example, after your graduation, if you choose to enter into a law firm, what would be your designation? You can always enter into a tier one law firm as an intern. That is the best area to enter into a law firm, because after intern, the classification is trainee associates, because and then associates. From the associate level, this becomes a bit tougher. It goes through a complete recruitment process, and you get to work under one partner, and that partner will be assigned one area of specialization. Like for example, if there is a partner in Amarchand Mangaldas who is working for banking, then if you enter as an associate to that vertical, that you get to learn banking and finance sector. So similarly, each partner has a different specialization area. So the designation follows like this. You can join as an intern, then it's trainee associate, then it's associates, then it is senior associate, then goes to partners who may be salaried or equity. So this is partner, senior partner, and managing partner. Managing partner are usually the people who are the founder of the law firm. What do you require if you are choose to, after completing your law, after completing your studies, you choose to enter into a law firm? What would be the so you are not interested to join as an intern, rather you are applying for an associate level. What are the skill set they will look for? Law firm are very particular into the legal knowledge. So if you are a very good learner, if you have done your studies well, it's an advantage for you. Then apart from that, they need a good communication skill. Field of law is all about communication. They need a good communication skill so that you can communicate with the client in a very clear and precise manner. They want your analytical skill. You have to draw inference from various things. You need to have a very good research skill. So you should be, there are a lot of platforms these days. Research is not a very tough thing, but you have to be you have to be interested in doing that. The thinking ability, then public speaking ability, writing ability, listening ability, and the decision making ability, and the inquiry skill, please note, and comprehension skill. So these are the skill pieces which a law firm judge the candidature, which is important and for them to recruit. So what are the basic, as I told you, each partner is responsible for one particular area of specialization. And above a partner, there is senior partner and then managing partner. So managing partner is like you can say equivalent to an MD in one private limited company. So under each partner, they provide one area of specialization, like for general corporate, banking and finance, financial market, competition law, dispute resolution. Dispute resolution is nothing but arbitration and other areas of dispute resolution. Intellectual property right, project and project finance, tax-related and venture capital, other practicing area and industry expert. So these are the various different branches of or the area of specialization in a law firm. So if you are interested to pursue a career in law firm, you need to know what can be the different various area of working there. As I told you, the structure is like this: intern, is trainee, associate, senior associate, partner, and senior partner, managing partner. So these are the skills which one has to have to become a lawyer, to get selected in a law firm. So with this, I end the presentation. I think I'm bang on time, and so now open for our question and answers.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
I'm Jasper from BBA LLB first year, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, I have seen so much about JAG, ma'am,
Right,
JAG,
right,
but I have not, I didn't get in correct information about it, ma'am,
right,
by how to apply for it or how to look into it. Could
right.
you, could you please elaborate that, ma'am?
Sure, sure. So, as I told you, I would really love to hear if at least one of you is interested for JAG. So, JAG is is a specialized branch on military law. So, you must have in a lot of movies or you have heard about court martial. So, when there is a trial into for against an army officer, it doesn't happen in our civil court. It happens in a specialized court within their jurisdiction. So there they need, as the public prosecutor we have in the civil court. So similarly, they have their own prosecutor. So what we need to know is the martial law, and then there is link which is published by army. So I will get you further more detail on this. I will send you an email. I will send an email to Dean sir, and then I will request him to make it available for you to say when this I will be. If since I do not have the information right now, then I will check to tell you when it gets published, which is the website you should check, and then what are the reference book you should refer. So all this information I'll provide you in an email, and sir can provide you to all of you. Does it work, Jasper?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
and then another doubt, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes,
do you take interns, ma'am?
yes, yes. I do take interns. Yes.
Albert?
We
Yes, ma'am.
Atifa?
So whenever there is an opportunity for internship, I will definitely let Nazim ma'am or Dean sir, and then accordingly, if you are interested to work under an internship, definitely I'll make it available. I do not know how many of the candidates I can accommodate, but if you are interested, definitely I will make it. I will let you know whenever we are open for internship. I'm just writing down the queries so that I can get back to
Albert?
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ask your question? You were telling me for a question, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have asked them. And ma'am, could you please share this PPT, ma'am, the career
Sure,
opportunities, ma'am?
sure, I will do that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure talking to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Same here, same here.
Atifa ma'am, are we expecting more questions?
That is what I am waiting for, because my
Yes.
target was to complete the presentation in 1 hour, so that half an hour I can interact with the students.
Yes. Especially
So
some
if
of the students were finding it very interesting, and we are expecting to work with you in future also. That's why students were also very eager to interact with you.
Sure,
Uh,
ma'am. I will come out with topics whichever I feel that I should let the students know and will help them in while they are studying. So I will come out with topics like that.
sure.
So,
Thank you so much.
so my dear students, so if you do not have question, so can one of you please give me your impression on the today's webinar, just to tell me whether it is helpful or how do you find? I would like to hear feedbacks from you, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Mohammed Shakil from BALLB. When I joined this course, I just had a thought that we are studying BALLB, and after 5 years, we are going to enroll and practice. And if we are not able to practice, we will study further, and we will be a instead of being an advocate, we'll move to law teaching profession. Apart from that, I know Jack those things a little, but you gave more You have fed us with more knowledge today's session. I'm feeling happy about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this honest feedback. And this was the whole intention and of this topic. Because when Sir approached me to address all of you, my idea was not to tell you about a specialized branch of law like arbitration, or I could have chosen something like that. But I know you have the best of professors who are teaching you law. I don't have to teach you law. But I am sure that we all, as a student life, we always face this problem. We have anxiety. We think that, am I doing the right course? Is there future? Will I be able to earn well and support my family? I have so many dreams. How do I fulfill? So at least from this presentation today, you should think that you have an ocean, and there are ocean of opportunity, I would say. Be confident, be positive, and inshallah you will get a very lucrative career. So this is a small example I have just shown in front of you, that how many opportunities are there.
Hello, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
Ma'am, I'm Abdurrahman, from third year.
Hello.
I have a doubt that is it possible to be a practicing advocate and along with that to be a chartered accountant, ma'am? Is it possible?
Yes, it is very much possible. So you can do CA. So CA and CS, these are all third courses. So no private institution is allowed to provide these courses. Like so, these are not courses like MBA or any other courses where many or many. Institutions can give. So these are chartered courses. CA you can always do. You can always do while practicing, while pursuing other courses. Take CA very seriously, because it is not the toughest, but yes, it is a specialized branch. And CA and LLB is a very good combination if you would like to pursue your career in taxation lawyer. And there are very less taxation lawyer in India. So there is this is a huge opportunity.
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
know.
I have heard a lot of things from my relatives that and some of lawyers also. They are telling that you need to debar that if you want to pursue as a CA, you need to debar as a lawyer, or if you want to pursue as a lawyer, you need to debar as a CA. Like that, they are telling. Is it so, ma'am?
Okay, so this is a different topic. So what they are saying is that once you registered into a bar council, and then you are practicing at the same time, you cannot, because but no one can take the law degree. So if you are a practicing CA, having a law degree, knowledge in law is an added advantage. But yes, you cannot practice at the same time and become a chartered accountant also. So that is not possible, because bar council license has to be surrendered if you have to become a chartered accountant. But what I am saying is that after you do your LLB and then you do your CA, you can become a very good taxation lawyer, because you have a complete knowledge of taxation, you have a complete knowledge of law as well. But ultimately you have to choose one career. If you want to be a CA, then you can practice CA, and you can appear in the taxation tribunal and everything.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this information.
Thank you.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am.
Oh, why? Sorry, please say.
Sorry for
You
interrupting.
can ask me 100 questions, no problem. Don't have to be sorry.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any age limit to become a judge, ma'am, at the young age?
Yes, there is. So if for the judicial service, you will see there is always an age limit. Currently, I do not know. It must be somewhere around 30. But the only thing is that so if there are exams, like for example, after doing your LLB, after practicing for 5 years, you can directly write your district judge exam as well. Then the age limit again increases. So how it happens is that If you are after LLB, you can write the judicial exam without any practice. So the qualification does not require you to be a practicing lawyer, minimum practicing experience. You can write the judicial exam, but for the district judges, there has to be a minimum practice. So for that, the age limit also increases.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, this is Aisha. I'm pursuing my third year law course. So, ma'am,
Right.
I would want to hear your thoughts about pursuing a career in law from a foreign nation such as the United Kingdom. And I would like to also add up how much more effective do you believe this will be than pursuing a career in India?
Okay, so if you are thinking of going abroad after doing your LLB, that can be one thought. So what happens, I will tell you. So for example, if I have to now go to Australia, for example, and do a legal practice, I am not allowed, because they have their own rule where they want me to be an Australian qualified lawyer. So what happens is that nowadays in India, you have to, after LLB, you clear the bar council exam, right? Similarly, in those countries also, you have to clear an exam. So their bar council exam. So it is advisable, if you actually want to go outside, for example, if you go to UK, US, Australia, Canada, then you have to go and do a course there. Maybe you have already LLB, so you can go and do LLM there, and then you can qualify whatever is their bar council examination, and you can pursue. But before that, you have to have a very good study which country you want to go. So UK, US, all are not same. In European countries nowadays, you have to first find out whether the career opportunity is there or not. So everyone will welcome you to do a course there and come back. But if that is not the intention, if you want to actually practice there, then you have to be very thorough which countries are now giving you residency, which is not giving, which is allowing you, or giving you what you call is job permit or not. This has to be very, very thorough, and then you have to go for the right course with the right university. So if you are actually interested to go in other countries, you can you can have some preference. Canada is one of the country who is now welcoming a lot of people from the diverse field. So you can explore the possibility. You can see how to get Canada PR, permanent residency, and this is a very easy process, very laid down process. You can go to the website and you can check, and then if you are so their categorization is skilled and unskilled. So if you are skilled, means if you have a professional degree. Law is a professional degree. So you can see that what exam you have to before you can work for them. So in that way, you have to do very, very, very thorough research. And your next question, whether it is good in India or outside, there is nothing like that. In India also, you have a career opportunity. But if you think in India, one of the evolving field is arbitration, international arbitration. So what happens, like for example, there is a contract between two countries, India and Singapore. So we have a dispute resolution clause saying that I am taking arbitration. In the agreement itself, we decide which will be the seat of arbitration and what will be the venue of arbitration. So for example, Singapore is the seat of arbitration. Then in that case, you have to be thorough with the international law, international arbitration law, and then gives a good prospect to deal with cross-border law. So for example, in UAE, if you want to go to UAE and work for an organization like UAE Exchange, the bank who is actually in Indian origin, having their headquarters in UAE, so a lot of transaction happens in India. So then you have to be thorough with international arbitration. So that also will give you some kind of international exposure. But if you have go to a foreign country in practice, my request is that you do a thorough research before out, because if you go and do LLB, it's a very expensive course. You will end up spending a lot of money, and if you do not get a chance to work there, then you have to come back. And in India, we do not recognize foreign law, foreign degree in that manner. So it will not be worth it, is what I mean. You are spending 30-35 lakhs going to UK and doing your LLM and come back, and then you have to do it from scratch in India. So it doesn't make sense. So that kind of a research is what you have to do.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really informative.
Thank you. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
What advice would you give to a person who wishes to pursue company secretary after their degree?
So company secretary is a very related course to it LLB. So company secretary is nothing but a specialized branch of company law, right? So you make yourself very expert in company law. So what would be your aim is something you have to see. So what is the career opportunity as a company secretary? You become a company secretary in an organization. Company secretary department also in some organization is a big department. It is principal company secretary, deputy company secretary, and there are interns who work on them. What they do, they are responsible for corporate governance. So they are responsible for conducting all the board meeting and minutizing them, record keeping, and at the same time they are also work on borrowing. So like for example, you have to issue IPO. So that is the role of a company secretary, or you have to do an listed NCD. So that is the role of a company secretary. So you can do this. This is a very good combination. There are companies who actually need a company secretary background if you have to climb the career path, because the knowledge in company law is very, very important in a corporate environment. And you can do it in you can do it parallelly. You can do it after completing the LLB as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have one doubt, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
After completing my master's in LLM in UK, ma'am, I can come to India and practice it, ma'am. Is it possible, ma'am?
It is possible. It is possible. As I just, answer one of the question, I think from Aisha. So it is possible. Only thing is that if you are interested to come back to India and practice, or you want to, do your LLM and work in UK itself, it's something you have to decide. Because if you want to come back and practice, if you are expecting that you will get a very big, a break or something, or the top law firm will hire you, is may not be the case. So in that case, what is the point in spending a huge amount and then coming back, is something you have to decide.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any more questions?
Ma'am,
Yes,
does that
please.
mean staying in India is better? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, does that mean staying in India and doing LLM in India is better than in UK?
So this is a decision which you have to take. That is why I am asking, like, if you, what is your plan, and do you want to come back to India and practice, or you want to practice international field is something. So then you can do a cost benefit analysis. So my point is that if you are going to UK, for example, King's College or something, to do LLB, you come back, there has to be an advantage, right? So if there is no added advantage, what is the point in spending so much money there? Or you can always do an LLM from a national law school if you are keen on. That would give you a better prospect in getting a job in India. So if your ultimate intention is to work in India in a corporate, in a tier 1 law firm, then I do not personally see much reason to go to UK and come with an LLM degree where the entire applicability of law may not be applicable here.
So, ma'am, a quick follow-up question, ma'am. Ma'am, so LLM in India, while we are doing LLM in India, will we get good opportunities in working in, example, I'm doing LLM on human rights, ma'am. So will it be helpful for me to go to like work in United Nations, maybe like that?
Yes, it is. That is why I just answered one of the question where I said, which is your target country is something, please do a good research on that. So not all the country is giving permit, like, and not all the countries accept, Indian legal degree. So there are where you can do LLM and clear their bar council and then they accept. So this international career. So since there are a lot of questions from international career, I'm just taking a note on this and I'll try to give more information on this to you. So maybe country-wise, some kind of an information, if I possible, I will provide to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. One last question we can have, since it's almost more than 1.5 hours since Atifa ma'am has been talking to us. It was such an interactive and informative and useful session, ma'am. Just one more question left. Students, if you have any one last question, you can ask. Anyone?
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Mohammed Sultan. I'm from 4th year. It was an enlightening session, ma'am, and it was also an eye-opening session for everyone, starting from 5th year to 1st year. Thanks for that, ma'am. And I have seen like you have been working in financial sector from as like you're now in vice president of Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company. Could you share your experience in the initial days and how you entered this field? And suppose if you are recruiting now a person to your field, what all qualities and what all qualities and things do you need and do you expect to be recruited for that, ma'am? That's it.
This is one of the best question I could actually expect, and it is such a matured question, for coming from a student. So Sultan, definitely your future is quite bright, and I will definitely pray for all of you for a bright future. So it's a very, very, what you call matured question, I would say. Yes, Sultan, how the career starts is that we were not so decisive. I did not have a clear vision in front of me that what is after LLB. I only knew judicial service and practice. This is the two things I knew. And I am from Guwahati. I did my LLB from Guwahati, Assam. And, the career or the going to a court practicing for a first generation lawyers was not at all lucrative, not at all encouraging. So no one talked very great about my doing an LLB because people thought that people have to do something and that is why they're doing. But one thing I was always clear in my life was that you should have a target in your life. That is written in one of in our holy book as well, that you should be always having a target that keeps you moving, and it is very, very important. So when you have a target in front of you, then you can actually achieve that. So my target was that I came to Delhi. I thought I will practice under a senior person because I wanted an age, because I thought if I start from Guwahati, then it will take a lot of time. So let me go to Delhi and then practice under some senior person. And then once I am back after 2 years, I will have a good opening. It was my thought. I went to Delhi. I was not that. I went to a lot of law firms for interview. They didn't happen. And Samulla sir, Honorable Dean sir, he knows me from that very day. Then one of our companies, City Financial, they were recruiting a lot of interns at the top point of time. So there are a lot of work and they wanted a lot of intern, and I came to know about it. I went there, they gave an interview and start working. So there are huge bulk of works. So the only thing which was in my mind was that whatever come in my way, where from I can learn, I will just do it without any application of mine. The only intention was that I am getting to learn things. I am getting to learn things. So I started with litigation. They gave me the tasks of cases which customers files against the company to defend them. They asked me to reply to the legal notices. They asked me to do some arbitration work. I kept on doing. And then, things started going. And then you get to know a lot of things. Then you know whether you want to be in a corporate, you want to go to a law firm. I, in between, also gave some competitive exam, like I wrote for Competition Commission of India. So all these things happen. So to answer your question, Sultan, so if at least you are one step ahead, you can have a clear vision before, by the time you step out of your college. Have that vision in your mind, step out of the college, join a law firm, join a corporate, or whatever is in your mind, judicial service, JAG, and everything, and then go ahead with that. To come with your next question, if I have to see a qualification and recruit under me, one thing I only see while I recruit is that person should have a hunger to learn. So a person should be, capable of learning, good listener, good learning capacity. That's it. I do not need, a very sharp candidate who has 80%, 90% marks, because for me, the person's learning should not stop. If you are if you are a top-notch but you have a mind block that I have learned a lot, I don't need to learn, then it stops. That is the end of a person, actually. So if a person is willing to learn, then is what is the only thing I see. Good attitude, the right attitude, I would say, right attitude, good, and the hunger to learn and grow.
Thank you so much, Atifa ma'am. And the last one, but the best one from Sultan. Thank you so much for the question. And thank you so much. So indebted to you, Atifa ma'am, for your wonderful session. We have no words for such an eye-opening. Yes, that should be the word, eye-opening, and a different level of perception we had, and you have changed all our perceptions regarding career in law. Thank you so much, Atifa ma'am, and we are really, really looking forward for more interactions with you, ma'am. Our Crescent School of Law is very, very privileged to have you as our speaker, and inshallah in future also we are going to have collaborations. Inshallah, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So, in fact, actually, I should thank you, Dean sir, for giving me this opportunity to interact with these brilliant students and wonderful students. This is something which I love to do, and I am looking forward to interact with all of you with more and more topics. I have noted my topics. With this, I will also get back to sir. I will share the presentation so that he can populate it to the students. And I have also noted the JAG process, which I will again come back and see. I have noted the CA-LLB in detail. I'll find out, and the international career. So these are the few things I will get back in an email so that sir and you can make it available to the students.
Thank you so much. Ankit sir, shall we wind up the session with the vote of thanks? Are we all set?
Yes, please. Before that, I want to say one thing.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Apology, Miss Atifa. I was not there continuously in the session. I was there for only 10 minutes in the beginning, and then I have come to meet a justice in Madras High Court. So I was occupied with that work. Now again, quickly I joined before you leave the session. So it was really a great session and very informative, very encouraging, kind of very knowledgeable session that our students definitely have had a great time and great knowledge deliberation also. And one thing I want to put with all our colleagues, faculty, students, and everyone that I know Atifa Madam for last around 20 years, so that was the association, and she has reached the highest ladder in the career, became vice president of the company. It's not it's not a kind of easy journey. It was very difficult journey, and at every time and at every company, she has proved herself as a very brilliant and very efficient and very competent legal professional, and that brought Miss Atifa for our session, and we are very happy to have you, ma'am. So then over to Nazneen. You can vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir, for
sir.
your words. Yes. Nasneen, Nashida Nasneen, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'll begin, ma'am.
Yes. So after this really, food for thoughts and food for brain, after this intellectual brainstorming session, such a wonderful session, we are come to the end of the session. Now I welcome Ms. Nashida of fourth year to give the vote of thanks on behalf of the Crescent School of Law and Crescent University. Nashida?
Yes, ma'am. A warm and graceful afternoon to our most valued speaker, Ms. Atifa Jahan, our Dean, Dr. Arab Muhammad Samiullah sir, all the faculty members and everyone gathered here for an insightful webinar on thinking out of the box, how to stay unique by pursuing a career in law. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who have worked hard to make this webinar happen. I express my gratitude to VC, Registrar, and Deputy Registrar for giving us this platform to conduct this event. I would like to thank our Dean, sir, for coordinating this event. An insightful session as this is always a pleasure to listen to. On behalf of the Crescent School of Law, I extend an hearty vote of thanks to our speaker, Ms. Atifa Jahan, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace the occasion. I'm sure this session has been thought-provoking and will surely encourage us going forward. Your thoughts have enlightened us and has given us a new perspective on various aspects of law. My gratitude goes to you, ma'am, for gracing this occasion and sharing your opinions. I also extend thanks to Nazneen ma'am for coordinating this webinar, giving our students an opportunity to new aspects of the law. My thanks goes to all faculty members for their cooperation within the organization of this event. Lastly, I would like to cheer for the students who have cooperated and showcased an active participation throughout the course of this webinar. Thank you once again, ma'am, and thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Nazneen.
you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Atifa, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You can leave now. Thank you. Thank you, Ankit, sir,
Thank you, ma'am.
for all the cooperation. Thank you so much.